The title consumed and the subsequent overlay of logos represent the elements of commercialism taking over the boy's life. The duct tape expresses the grip consumerism has over the boy's life. The slow fall backwards into water was first used in the 1930 film Blood of a Poet to show the consummation of the protagonist by a higher force. In the case of my film, Consumed, it represented commercialism engulfing the boy. Animals were first used to express an idea subconsciously in Louis Bonnell's Un Chien Andalou. Consume uses the dog to show commercialism affects all living things. The slow motion ascending from water and darkness was used in the 1950s surreal film Orpheus to the attempt of escaping death's clutches. Singular eyes have signaled the beginning of dream sequences in both Run Lola Run and the 1928 hit Metropolis. It is utilized similarly in Consumed. The constant flashes of the snake consuming the egg represents the slow but sure control of the boy's life by commercialism. While the snake represents the big companies, the egg represents the boy's life. The use of a fisheye lens in the coming sequences is used to show that the images are from the boy's perspective within his dreams. This scene, where the boy studies the mirror only to see an alternate version of himself constantly appear, is a reference to surrealist painter Salvador Dali's Swans Reflecting Elephants. And the flash of the man in the suit shows the cause of the boy's altered perception of himself, until he ultimately becomes the dreaded altered reality, a product of commercialism. The overlaid music is a mashup of sounds and words, a movie filled with surreal interpretations. In the following scene, we see the boy transported to a commercial establishment where he is ushered inside by a defeated version of himself. The use of the same character multiple times was first used in Being John Malkovich to express the distress the protagonist was undergoing. The overlaid image of a man in suit bouncing a ball shows that the brainwashing of consumers is nothing but a game. As the boy attempts to escape, he trips and is transported to a game of ping pong against a suited man who idealizes commercialism. The use of the protagonist versing an embodied cultural ideology was first used in the 1957 film Seventh Seal, where a soldier plays a game of chess against a living embodiment of death. As the embodiment of commercialism delivers a fatal blow to the protagonist, we see a jump cut to an egg sliced in half. This technique was first used in Louis Bonnell's Un Chien Andalou. Although the slicing of the egg in Consumed represents the destruction of life, the absorbing of the protagonist is a reference to Videodrome, expressing the integration of the boy into the system of commercialism. The cut of the boy eating the burger overlaid with the egg within the snake shows the boy eating away his last chances of ever being free from commercialism, as the egg is consumed and digested. The fall into water represents the boy being totally consumed by a greater force. The words "this is not a film" are a flashback to surreal painter Magritte's "This is not a pipe." Although a pipe is clearly shown, Magritte attempted to explain that it was merely paint on paper. Similarly, in Consumed, a film is obviously shown, but the words attempt to strip signs and symbols of their cultural meaning.